You think you were attacked by a demon. And I have to tell you, like, a lot of people mock this, they roll their eyes, but I look at, like, what happened to Charlie.
If you tell someone that you've experienced demonic attacks and spiritual stuff like that, a lot of people will think you're weird or you're lying or you're crazy. And so it's really rare to see someone openly talk about this stuff. And so I wanted to react to this video of Tucker Carlson talking about his experience being demonically attacked.
You think you were attacked by a demon. And I have to tell you, like, a lot of people mock this, they roll their eyes, but I look at, like, what happened to Charlie, what happened in the wake of Charlie, what happened at the Ascension School in Minneapolis, where that man went in there and shot a bunch of little children praying at their church school. And I challenge anyone to tell me there aren't demons among us.
Well, I never thought there were. I thought the whole thing was, like, bizarre.
So what happened?
Because, like, culturally, I'm just not from a world where people are attacked by demons. And in fact, when it happened the next morning, when I saw the blood on my sheets, I was like, I actually called someone who works for me, who's a very sincere, lifelong evangelical, and I'm like, have you ever heard of this? And she's like, oh yeah, it happens all the time. And I was like, what? Not to Episcopalians, it doesn't.
Stuff it down.
Yeah, no, it was wild. Yeah, I mean, I'm not embarrassed at all, and I don't care if I'm mocked. Don't get anything out of making this up, and I'm not making it up.
But what happened?
I had this crazy experience where I was in the truck with someone coming back from quail hunting, and I had all of a sudden we were talking about someone I despise, and all of a sudden I had this crazy empathy for the person, like really intense empathy, like I could understand why this person was doing these horrible things. And I said to the person in the truck, this is a family dispute, right? So I said to the person, maybe my brother, and I said, I think I know what's happening here. This person feels this way, that way, this way. And my brother goes, how did you know that? I said, I don't know. It just like, and my brother goes, I think like God is like speaking through you or something. And I felt total, true empathy for this person I truly hate. It was like the craziest thing that's ever happened to me. I have no idea where it came from. My brother's like, I think that's from God. Like, there's no way you could. I was like, wow, that's kind of wild. So then I get home. We have this huge dinner party, which we always have dinner parties. And I forget about it. And I'm telling you this because they're twinned. The one leads to the other. I had this profound experience with God, like profound and beautiful and unexpected. And then I go to bed with my wife and 4 dogs who sleep in the bed. My wife's had 4 children. My dogs are hunting dogs. All 5 of them wake up like that. Like we have no home invaders in my house. I wake up at 2:30 in the morning. I check and I couldn't breathe at all. My throat was closed. It wasn't like I was apnea or was strong as I couldn't breathe. So I get up, I stand in the doorway of our bedroom, and I'm like, wow, I'm dying. I could feel myself starting to gray out. And then I started walking in the backyard, and then it slowly came back. Like my throat kind of opened up a little bit. I was like really weirded out. I walk back in, and my wife wakes up. She goes, what is going on? I said, I don't know. I can't breathe. I feel better now. And all of a sudden, I had this horrible pain underneath my arms, like on the side of my chest. Like bad. I thought I'd been like ripped with a knife or something. It just was very intense. So I go into the bathroom, I flip on the light, and I have claw marks on both sides, on right and left side on my ribs, and they're bleeding. And they're literally claw marks, 4 on either side. I put my fingers in them, don't fit my fingers, and I sleep on my side. So and by the way, no one woke up. So I show my wife, and she's like, oh my gosh. And then I have this like crazy intense desire to read the Bible. So I read the Bible and I pass out in like 2 minutes, and I wake up, and the next morning I thought, man, did I have a wild dream? And then I see blood in my sheets, and I go in the bathroom and I have these bloody marks. And my wife goes, I think you were attacked by some supernatural being. And I was like trying to be logical about it. And I was like, yeah, I definitely was. And then I called one of my producers who's like, oh yeah, well, that's pretty common. I was like, what? And I've had a couple other experiences, not that crazy, but where you really feel God's presence, which is marked by peace and true empathy, love for other people, which doesn't come naturally to me. I'm kind of a dick, obviously. But you know it when God is acting through you, and then they're followed by some wild attack. Like, why? I've had a couple things. It's just like, well, anyway.
The reason why I want to watch this is just because I want to bring more awareness to the spiritual, right? Because a lot of people, they think this stuff is fake, right? But it's like, what do you do when countless people have testimonies like this over and over? Like how can you deny all these people? Even you watching this, I'm sure you have had a spiritual experience, and you should share it in the comments, right? And I think here's a spiritual thing that you can't explain, right? And I think a lot of us can relate. And this actually happened to me today, and this happens to me pretty often. I'm very sensitive to other people and when they think about me, right? And so if somebody thinks about me, I usually can pick up on it. And a lot of times too, if somebody thinks about me and I can detect it, a minute later or 3 minutes later, whatever, they text me. Like, I've experienced it, and I know a lot of y'all have experienced that too. And what would you call that? Like, just a coincidence? For me, it's consistent. I literally had that happen today, and I was literally gonna text the dude. I'm like, bro, I know you think about me, but it's like that sounds sweet. Like, I know you think about me. Like, what the heck? I'm not gonna text a dude that. What the heck? That's like, imagine I'm wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I was right though. I literally was right. But like, how can an atheist type person, explain that? And they really can't, And so, bro, the spiritual side of life is real. We're more than just material, the physical, And if there's a demon, right? If there's a demon who can attack people at night, like what happened with Tucker Carlson, then on the flip side, there's God and there's like righteousness. And so, who are you aligned with ultimately, right? Because it's one or the other. There's no in between, there's no gray area. And so you have to choose, are you going to serve God or serve the devil? And if you choose yourself, you're choosing Satan. If you choose neither, you're choosing Satan. Oh, here's another thing too. A common spiritual experience that people have is sleep paralysis, where like kind of similar to what Tucker Carlson was talking about, where like in the middle of the night, you wake up, you feel like this heavy presence on top of you, restricting your ability to breathe, all this type of stuff. A lot of people deal with this, and people will say, oh, it's just sleep paralysis, but you're just putting a label on the experience, but that doesn't explain what was that. Why is it that countless people have experienced these weird demonic beings oppressing them in the middle of the night? Oh, it's just sleep paralysis, and you're just you're in between the sleep cycle or whatever. It's like, no, bro, that was a demon. You gotta pray. And people literally have reported, when you're experiencing sleep paralysis, when you say the name of Jesus, it stops. The demon goes away. And so there's something about these things that we got to look deeper into. But hey, shout out y'all. Hey, shout out if y'all watch this. I appreciate you for watching. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, watch my other video, man.